This finally happened, Spurs fans. Jakob Poeltl has been traded.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Well, I woke up this morning and what do I see? Jakob Poeltl is returning to the Toronto Raptors, a team the Spurs just lost to last night. Well, after the game, I guess he didn't have to come back, didn't have to move. Just stay right there because you're going to be playing for the Raptors. Anyway, I'm going to get into this article from Spurs Talk. While I'm doing so, drop a comment down below, your thoughts on the trade. How do you think we did? The future of the team for this year, and hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe for more Spurs content. Let's just get into it. What will the Spurs receive for Jakob Poeltl? They'll receive a protected 2024 first-round pick, and there's a big question mark just how protected is that pick. Top 5, top 10, lottery protected, top 20. I don't think it's going to go that far up, but I have a feeling it's going to be protected somewhere around the top 10 range. A pair of second-round picks, and the Spurs have a million draft picks as well as a bajillion second-round picks, and Khem Birch. Following on into the article, why did the Spurs decide to make this trade? Well, according to Spurs Talk, for two reasons. First, the Raptors' offer was the best collection of draft capital that any team was willing to part with. The Spurs originally wanted 2 first-round picks. Well, they got a first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. The other teams were offering protected first-round pick, but this apparently was the most draft stock the Spurs could get, so that's why they went with Toronto. And second, apparently that's who Jakob Poeltl wanted to go with. The Toronto Raptors drafted Jakob Poeltl, so he wanted to go home, so to speak. Also, there's no decision recording whether the Spurs will keep Khem Birch or if they will try to buy him out. He barely played for the Raptors. He is under contract next season for $7 million, and that's guaranteed. He's 30 years old, so he doesn't necessarily fit our plans of a rebuild and going with the youth movement. So I think he's probably just going to get bought out or waived. And finally, we'll end in the article with this: was this a good trade for the Spurs? And then I'll give my 2 cents on everything. It's tough to tell because, as they say here, we don't know all the details. Just how protected is that 2024 first round pick? We're going to receive the 2023 second round pick. That would currently be the 39th pick of the draft. Apparently, there might be more to the trade than we know. There could be another player such as Delano Banton added to the deal. Don't know a lot about him. I want to get into my thoughts on the Spurs and the trade itself with Turtle Power here. The Spurs have gone from a bad team to a worse team. He was one of the best players on our team, even though I saw a little criticism from another news article that said he's a poor free throw shooter. He's shooting like 59% this year, which is really good for him. So he's at least on an upswing. Great with the pick and roll. He's got a nice touch shot in the paint, and we're really losing one of our best centers. So for those that are on the team tank, we're only heading in one direction, and that's going to be even worse. And right now, we're the 3rd worst team in the NBA. We've lost, 10, 11 games in a row. We're barely above the Pistons and the Rockets. The Spurs could finish as the worst team in the NBA when it's all said and done. Our starting lineup has been absolutely decimated. The only starter that's out there from day one is Keldon Johnson. Jeremy Sohan, Trey Jones have been injured. Jakob Poeltl has been traded. Demisel has been out for a very lengthy period of time and don't know the timetable on him coming back. So this team looks completely different than it did from day one. As far as our starting center moving forward, Spurs fans, I got to think this is Zach Collins getting the spot, and this is his chance. Zach Collins is a former lottery pick. This is his chance to prove not only to the Spurs, who have him under contract next year, I don't believe it's guaranteed, but prove to the NBA, I am a starting center, not just a backup. As far as who is going to back up Zach Collins, Isaiah Roby maybe could play center. Charles Bassey come back. Is Dwayne Dedmon still on the roster? We already cut him. I don't even know. Is Gorgie James still on the roster? I'm drawing a blank because of all the changes recently. It's gonna be tough to watch a team for the rest of the year, but I'll be watching. I watched last night, and as far as Jakob Poeltl, what's this mean for him? Well, he's going back to the team that drafted him, and he's gonna have a chance, for a possible, a playoff run. Something he's definitely not going to get in San Antonio this season. Could Jakob Poeltl come back to the Spurs? You could sign as a free agent in the offseason. So that's always possible. And the last thing, because of Jakob Poeltl and doing the live streams with the San Antonio Spurs, the phrase, if you will, thunder dunk of justice came from him throwing down a huge dunk on a team. And I just yelled out Poeltl with the thunder dunk of justice, and it's kind of stuck with this channel. If there are any Raptors fans watching, you're already familiar with Jakob Poeltl, more than likely, because he played for you, but he's a much better player than he was prior to that. He was a backup center, and now he's a legit starting center, maybe top 10 center in the NBA. He can, he had those games where he's going to score 20 to 25 points, but he's usually going to get, 10, maybe in the teens. Does get an occasional foul trouble. He can get be very poor at the free throw line. He's a solid rebounder. He's a good shot blocker. He's a good passer. Excellent on the pick and roll. And I think he's going to really help your team. I do. And it's going to be a huge setback for a team that's already really bad in our San Antonio Spurs. Moving forward, will the Spurs make any other trades? I believe the trade deadline is today, February 9th. Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson are still on the roster. I got to think they're shopping them, but we have so many draft picks. Just how many second round picks do we need? Because I don't think we're going to get a first round pick for either player. So it would be interesting to see what the Spurs do moving forward. I got to think they're going to want to keep one vet on their team, one of those guys. But I don't think Richardson's under contract next year, and Doug has 1 year remaining. So we'll see. Definitely did not expect to wake up to this. There could be more today. I'll try to do a video if there's any other trades as soon as possible. Again, your thoughts below. Let me know how you're feeling about this. Jakob, once a Spur, always a Spur. It was fun watching the last few years. Best of luck to you. And that's all I got. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, go Spurs, go!